Hey guys, how's it going? This is Pocket, and today we will compare the iPad mini 4th generation and the iPhone 6. So let's get started. So this test will include some launching app tests, and of course later on we are going to move on more extreme tests of these devices. So first of all, we're going to launch a couple of apps on both of these devices to see which of these devices launches the apps faster. So before moving on to the test, we want to make sure that the RAM of both of the devices is clean by forcing close all the apps on the background to clean it, and then we are ready to start the test. So first of all, we are going to open the App Store. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, go. So in this case, the iPhone 6 seems that launched the App Store a little bit faster than the iPad mini, but the difference is really small. I'm going to click again the RAM, and then we're going to launch Camera app. So in this case, it seems that the iPad mini 4 launched the Camera app first, but I have to admit that the iPad mini has less megapixels, which takes less time to launch, but the iPhone 6 has 8 megapixel camera, but is slightly better, which takes a little bit more time to launch. So let's slide from photo to video. So again, seems the iPad mini load the video a little bit faster than the iPhone. Let's move on to the slow-mo section. So pretty much the same. The iPad mini again won this turn and time lapse, and again the iPad mini won. So seems that launching the camera app, the iPad mini went first, but the iPhone's camera has more things to load, that's why it took a little bit longer. So let's clean again the RAM and let's move on to the next app. So the next app will be settings. Again, seems that the iPad mini launched the app a little bit first than the iPhone 6, but the difference is limited. And then the last one will be clock. So again, the iPad mini won this turn. So let's move up again, let's clean the RAM, and let's go to test the more extreme tests of both of the devices. So we're going to move on the last page, and here I have these 3 apps we're going to test, which the first one happens to be the Geekbench 3, the second one will be Antutu Benchmark, and the third one will be Speed Test. So let's move on the Geekbench 3, and let's run processor benchmark. So the iPad mini came up first, which the score of the iPad mini is a little bit higher than the iPhone 6. So as you can see here, the single core score is 1730, which the iPhone 6 is 1637. On the multiple score, the iPad mini has 3141 and the iPhone 6 has 2933. As you jump here on the details, so you see the score, more details of the score for some users will be interested with. And there you go. So let's clean this up. The next app will be Antutu Benchmark, and we're going to hit start and test. So I'm gonna skip the loading because it takes too much time to do, and I'm gonna skip to the results. So here we are with the scores. Well, on the iPad mini the score is 46,818, well, as the iPhone 6 is 46,802, which means that the iPad mini 4 is slightly a little bit tiny better than the iPhone 6 on the graphics. But the iPad mini 4, it has a little bit has a higher resolution than the iPhone 6, which might affect the score of the iPad mini 4. So you can say that that both of the devices are very good for games and run very smoothly. So as you can see here, it has more devices where you may interest with. And let's move on the last one will be a speed test of the internet. And before going to do the test, I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi on my iPhone, and I'm gonna start on my iPad first, and then move on the iPhone one. So here we have the score of the iPad mini 4, which has 8 pings and 19.32 megabps, and the upload speed is 7.71. So let's test the iPhone now. I'm going to turn on the Wi-Fi, and I'm going to disable the Wi-Fi on my iPad mini 4, and I'm going to hit test. So here it seems that the iPad mini 4 failed this test, which has a lower score on the download speed, but the iPhone 6 has a higher speed. Well, on the upload speed, again the iPhone 6 wins this round, but both of these devices have the same antenna or internet speed. So probably the internet speed of these devices are very similar, but this depends on the router and the internet speed, because each time it's changing, so you cannot accurately test the speed of these devices. So compared to the iPhone, the iPad mini has more features. Well, the most important of them is the split screen. So I'm going to show you what this does. So let's, for example, open Notes. So from here I can slide from here, and I can choose an app to open simultaneously. So let's open, I'm gonna find a good app one. So let's open, for example, Safari. So what you can do with split screen is really important. You can basically run two apps simultaneously. So for example, you can find a really cool link on the web, and you can copy paste it. So for example, I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna paste it on my notes, paste it, and there you go. So this is very fast, something that the iPhone or iPhone 6 or iPhone 6s Plus don't have, or even iPhone 6s and iPhone 6s Plus don't have this feature, unfortunately. So this is a really cool feature and worth to try out. And lastly, I'm going to do a boot test of both of the devices. So first of all, I'm gonna clean the RAM, because probably will affect the speed of it. And then I'm gonna hold down the power button. I'm gonna slide off. So it seems that both of the devices are turned off now. So I'm gonna try to turn them on simultaneously, both of these. So here is the home button, the power button of the iPad mini. Here's of the iPhone. So I'm gonna start on 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the iPhone 6 boot up first, not the iPad mini 4th generation. So I have to admit that both of the devices are extremely fast, but if you are stuck on buying an iPad 4, an iPad mini 4 or an iPhone 6, I just recommend you to buy whatever you want, because both of the devices are extremely fast. But if it's about money and don't care about making calls and this stuff, just go for the iPad mini, because it has a larger screen and has more content to display and is a tiny faster than the iPhone 6. Or if you care about making calls and sending messages, I recommend you to buy the iPhone 6 or iPhone 6s Plus if you having trouble with a small screen and you want more content displayed on the screen. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch my latest videos and more videos like that. Or make sure to follow me on Twitter, like my Facebook fan page, watch my latest videos, my latest content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.